Good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Brianna, Gemma, Pippadot, Kitty Coo. Good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. Hope you all had a great weekend. Tonight, all the trivia is on the Zodiac Killer. The Zodiac Killer is all the trivia tonight. Hot. Very hot, Pippadot. Golf was hot. You uploaded your blog earlier? I'll have to check it out. Yes, everyone remember to be on all our live chat, not top chat. Thank you very much, Kitty Coo. Tonight, I'm drinking Cherry Obituary by Liquid Death. Good stuff. Dee Dee. Good evening, Dee Dee. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you're doing well. Joe Tall Chief. Good evening, Joe Tall Chief. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Tonight we will be answering questions about the Zodiac Killer. Cool here, and I'm loving it. I wish I was where it's cool. It is 99 degrees here where I am right now. I mean, that is cool for this time of year. The other day when I went golfing, it was supposed to be high 80s, like 87, 86, right in there. But by the time we ended up peeing off, we ended up peeing off in the middle of the afternoon. But it was 103 when we ended up peeing off. That's hot. That's when you get out there and you're like, shade is a plus wherever you can find shade. Yeah, but that's pretty common for this area, Pippadot, though. Usually, it's the end of July and all of August is when it's the hottest, but we're still seeing it. I don't know anything about the Zodiac. The Zodiac as an astrological chart or the Zodiac Killer. The scroll on your screen at the bottom there, Joe Tall Chief, should tell you a little about the Zodiac. But you can also use deductive reasoning, phone a friend, use the internet, whatever. We're just here to have fun. Just here to have fun. Right, Anna, it is where you are is in the low 70s right now. That would be really nice to be in, especially out golfing. So when I go golfing, I'm by far the youngest person in my foursome. There are four people, so there's three others and myself. One is 69, one is 82 or 83, and the other one just had their 89th birthday. I am by far the youngest in the crowd. Cali Lisa, good evening. Ooh, Joe Tall Chief, it is 64 and sunny. 64 and sunny in Minnesota. Nice and cool where Gemma is for it's midnight there. Well, let's get the trivia night going, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 371st episode of True Crime Trivia. This trivia night strictly adheres to factual evidence and verified data from the FBI Department of Justice in Scotland Yard when needed, along with court records and transcripts from trials. It does not include conspiracy theory, speculation, or unverified claims about what may have happened. If you are seeking sensationalism or content related to similar theories or lies spread by those who can't be bothered to do the research on the topic, this event and topic may not be the right fit for you. This program documents actual crimes and offenses by criminals. Some of the content covered here may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. While I have your attention for a minute, if you see below this actual screen, the subscribe, and it is in white, that means you are not currently a subscriber. As it sits right now, only 22.5% of all the people who watch my content on a weekly basis are subscribed to my channel. Yes, that is exactly 19 points below the YouTube average. The Zodiac Killer is an unidentified serial killer who murdered 5 known victims in the San Francisco Bay Area between December of 1968 and October of 1969. The case has been described as arguably the most famous unsolved murder case in American history, and has become both a fixture of popular culture and the focus of efforts by amateur detectives. The Zodiac's known attacks took place in Venancio, Vallejo, and unincorporated Napa County, and in the city and county of San Francisco proper. He attacked 3 young couples and a lone male cab driver, and 2 of these victims survived. And thank you very much and congratulations on being a member of my channel, Cali Lisa, for the past 8 months. Thank you very much. And to everyone else out there who is a channel member, thank you. With that in mind, let's get ready to rumble on some trivia. Question number 1 is now on your screen. And I get myself my little window here. Second. Look, growing Bill. Growing Will. Will getting bigger. Will getting bigger. Bigger and bigger. Oh my God. He's getting bigger. How big can we get? No, that's too big. About right there. That looks like a good size. You can still see the picture behind me. Question number 1 is on your screen. Who were the first official victims of the Zodiac murder? Was it A, Paul Rubin and Marcia Brady? B, David Faraday and Betty Jensen? C, Karen Reed, because, well, she's stupid. Or D, David Blackburn and Sarah Pullen? Question number 1 of 20. Who were the first official victims of the Zodiac murderer? And thank you, Dee Dee. Thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Purple, good evening, Purple. Sprinkled Donut. Welcome to tonight's trivia. We are answering questions tonight about the Zodiac Killer. Bonnie, good evening. Good evening to you as well. I hope you all had a great weekend. Question number 1. Who were the first victims of the Zodiac murders? Question number 1. Lita. Good evening, Lita. Welcome to tonight's trivia. All the questions tonight are on the Zodiac murders. I'm glad you could be here with us, Lita. Lita is going with B as well. B seems to be a popular one. Evening, it's 72. I still think still humid. I'm sorry, 72 and humid. Better than right now where I am, 99 degrees and 29% humidity, according to the scroll on the bottom of my screen here. So here I am on the screen below where you guys can't see it, but I have the weather thing scrolls on the bottom along with weather alerts. They're always putting out heat warnings. We actually follow them because my wife works outside. So, all right, question number 1. The correct answer is B as in boy. David Faraday and Betty Jensen were the first official victims of the Zodiac. They were both murdered on December 20th, 1968. December 20th, 1968. Question number 2. What different about the Lake Berryessa attack that never happened at any other confirmed attack or killing? Was it A, a knife attack, B, a rape and strangulation, B, robbery and poisoning, or D, shot and stab? How cold does it get here in the wintertime, Bonnie? Usually down to about, I would say 20, if that cold. I live in what's called a high desert plateau. So it's not a complete desert, but we do have some cactus here. We don't have like the giant saguaro, cactuses you would see in like New Mexico or Arizona or in parts of southern California. But we do have small cactuses here. A lot of sagebrush, tumbleweeds, and dirt. We got a lot of dirt. Question number 2 of 20. What was different about the Lake Berryessa attack that never happened at any other confirmed attack or killing? Joe Tall Chief, I've been there to a high desert plateau. Were you on a horse with no name? Because it felt good to get out of the rain? Oh, sorry. That was something else. I'm thinking of something else completely. Oh, thank you, Pippa Dot. Get some more cherry drinks. Liquid Death. They should sponsor me. Come on. Get with it, Liquid Death. I mean, I drink enough of your waters every day. But thank you again very much, Pippa Dot. I really appreciate that. 20 is cold, LOL. I'm in VA, Virginia, so it doesn't get very cold. May get snow though. You get snow in Virginia. Joe Tall Chief lived in Washington for 25 years. Oh. Well, do you know what the eastern side of the Cascades is like then? That's where I live, is on the eastern side of the Cascades, near the Washington-Oregon border. All right, question number 2. The correct answer is A as in apple. Knife attack. Out of all the homicides and attacks, the Lake Berryessa attack was the only one that the Zodiac ever committed with just a knife. Just a knife. It was a knife attack. Question number 3. What did the Zodiac Killer write on the car door of Brian Hartnell's car? Was it A, dates of previous attacks. B, the tour schedule for the Grateful Dead. C, long coded message and a cross. Or D, Chad Daybell's phone number. You love Ellensburg? I'm about 180-ish miles from Ellensburg, but Ellensburg's pretty. I like the Ellensburg and Wenatchee area. I like the the actual mountains themselves, but I mean I can go. I'm not that far from the Blues, which is outside of Walla Walla. College Place, that area. I'm close to that, so I'm only about maybe 45 minutes to the mountains, if that. I mean, it's only the most direct route would be a 2-lane highway, so you never know. Sometimes you get on it and you'll be caught behind like a hay combine machine or or a rake or something. You just never know. Directions to Barry Morphew's house. Good one, Sprinkled Donut. Question number 3. The correct answer is A as in apple. Dates of the previous attacks is what he wrote on the door of Brian Hartnell's car. The dates of all of the previous attacks. Question number 4. Which victim survived being shot multiple times and helped the sketch seen here above right up here, this one, on July 4th, 1969? Was it A, David Faraday, B, Jane Brady, C, Michael Magoo, or D, Paul Stein? Question number 4 of 20. Which victim survived being shot multiple times and helped the sketch right here be made on July 4th of 1969? In the names of every Pauly Shore movie. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, smoke them if you got them. Question number 4. All right, the answer to question number 4 is C as in cat. Michael Magoo was the lone survivor who helped law enforcement make this sketch that is right up above me here on July 4th, 1969. By far the most accurate description of the Zodiac Killer is from this sketch. Question number 5. What distinctive item of clothing did the Zodiac Killer always wear? Was it A, brown derby hat, B, a Def Leppard t-shirt, C, a Chris Angel necklace, or D, a black hood with a cross painted on it? And good evening, Inner Peas. Good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. I hope you are doing well. I'm glad you could be here with us tonight, Inner Peas. Joe taught you were 7 years old then in 1969. Now, I'm just a young whippersnapper. I wasn't born until 69. Just stopping by, might be back. All right, Inner Peace. Well, if you don't make it back, you have a great week ahead. Question number 5. The correct answer is D as in dog. A black hood with a cross painted on it. The zodiac symbol that we all know of, a circle with a cross on it, is the last iteration. The first iteration was just a cross. The circle came in later. Even his first letters that he wrote to the San Francisco Chronicle just had a cross written on them, no circle around it. But it came in, the circle appeared later on. But a black hood and a cross painted on it. Did you know, a week after the very first discovered cipher was received, a week after the very first cipher was received by the media until the very last cipher was received, there were 2,594 fake ones received, according to the FBI. 2,594 fake ciphers were received by the media and law enforcement between the first one and the last one. Now, ladies and gentlemen, me again. No, nothing on your screen except for my ugly mug. I'm now going to play a video. It's going to take up the entire screen. I'm still trying to figure out how to move it into the little box where the picture is. And yes, I will be doing a test probably Wednesday of this week on trying to do that. I'm trying to work it out on how to actually format it so it appears in that little box. But the video I'm about to show you is going to be completely on the screen. So with that said,
leads and tips from people who want to help catch the Zodiac Killer have been pouring into police headquarters here at the Hall of Justice for the last few days. A new team of detectives has been added to the homicide detail in an effort to sift some of that information. Police are now convinced that it was the killer of a San Francisco cab driver who sent in a swatch of bloody cloth with a letter to the San Francisco Chronicle. Laboratory tests on the cloth, torn from the shirt of Paul Stein, prove that it came, in fact, from the cab driver when he was murdered last Saturday night in Presidio Heights. And handwriting analysis of a foreboding letter indicates the writer is the same man who's committed 5 murders, 1 here, 3 in Vallejo, and 1 in Napa over the last 10 months. A composite drawing sketched in 4 hours from witnesses' descriptions has been widely publicized. People tend to forget, however, that it is not necessarily an accurate portrayal of the killer's likeness, just a translated remembrance of a brief look at his face. All of the letters sent by the killer have been posted from San Francisco, and police believe the man either works or lives in the city. His chilling allusions to future slayings are being countered with an intense drive to prevent him from fulfilling any promises. Dick Carlson reporting for Newsbeat from San Francisco Hall of Justice.
well, thank you for gifting a channel membership, Callie. Lisa, I appreciate that. All right, to answer the question, what does the cross and the circle mean? The answer to the question is no one knows. The FBI has a theory on it, but they have never said publicly what they believe it stands for. But again, he believed that he was killing individuals to take as slaves in the afterlife. This is from his own letters that he wrote to the San Francisco Chronicle. He said that he was killing these people to take as slaves in the afterlife. Now, is there some type of religious background of the individual? I don't know. And the FBI has never said one way or another if there is. So I wish I could give you a better answer than that, but no one really knows what the cross and the circle represents. There are people who have definitely, Gemma, who have believe that it may be a variation of a pagan symbol. Yes. There's also people believe that, have tried to draw a reference to that it is of black magic or witchcraft, but and they all then there's those people who say, hey, it looks like the crosshairs in a scope. I mean, you can draw all kinds of different references to it, but no one really knows for sure. All right, question number 7. How many other murders took place outside of the city of San Francisco that may have been the Zodiac in 1969? Not the entire thing, 1968 and 1969, just 1969. How many? Is it A, 9, B, 6, C, 3, or D, 1? Bonnie thought it was a site, gun site. It could be. It depends on how you look at the actual symbol itself. But instead of the crosshair, the cross being directly in the middle equally, the arm of it is actually up, making more of a cross, like a Christian cross. So it's not actually. If you actually have to look at the real ones that he drew, they're not exactly centered, and the arms on the sides are longer than the up and down line itself. Will, wrong question. Wait, 7? But well, did we skip over 6? We did. Kitty Q, we will go back to 6 in a second. I clicked off of the thing and it went to this one. We will go back in order, everybody. We will go back to number 6 here in just a second. Don't worry. I just seen that myself, that it's on question 7. But we will go back to 6. But question 7. How many other murders took place outside of the city of San Francisco that may have been the Zodiac in 1969? Question 7. The correct answer is C as in cat. 3. 1 in April, 1 in May, and 1 in June of 1969 that took place in the incorporated area outside of San Francisco. Now, going back to question number 6. And again, I'm sorry. What caliber of pistol did the Zodiac Killer use in all the other attacks and murders? Was it A, a 223, B, a 45 millimeter, C, 9 millimeter, or D, 30-06? Question 6 of 20. What caliber of pistol did the Zodiac Killer use in all the other attacks and murders? It is now, Callie Lisa. When I clicked off the video, it went to question 7. That was my bad. I didn't look at the number right away. That's my bad. So we did question 7 out of order, and now we went back to question 6. What caliber of pistol did the Zodiac Killer use in all the other attacks and murders? Question 6. B's and C's. I thought it was a revolver. Nope. Question number 6. The B, C, B, 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 and C. Question number 6. The correct answer to question 6 is C, as in cat, a 9mm pistol. They do not know if it was a revolver or if it was a pistol per se. No shell casings were ever found, so they believe only that it was, a revolver in that circumstances. More likely that it was more that, or the Zodiac Killer policed. That's what it's called, policed his own brass, meaning he picked up his brass if it was something that discharged the shell casings after firing, which most do. But they do not know for sure because he was never caught and neither was the weapon found. Okay, so now briefly we will look at question 7 again. How many other murders took place outside the city of San Francisco that may have been the Zodiac in 1969? And the answer to question 7 again is still C, as in cat. Now we are moving on to question number 8. And again, I am sorry for my error. Question 8. How many different characters are there in all the known ciphers from the Zodiac Killer? Is it A, 1,190, B, 211, C, 289, or D, 340? How many different characters? Ooh, Super Soaker. Do they still make Super Soakers? I haven't seen one in a long time. My son doesn't have any. Those would definitely be fun on a hot day like today. Question number 8 of 20. How many different characters are there in all the known ciphers from the Zodiac Killer? How many different characters? Kitty Kitty D? No clue. Purple's going with C. All right, the answer to question number 8 is D, as in dog. There are 340 different characters in all of the ciphers put together that the Zodiac Killer had written out and sent to law enforcement and the media. The cipher that was solved in 2020 by an amateur cryptographer, that cipher was called cipher number 340. Cipher number 340. In case you're wondering, there is one cipher that is yet to be broken, and that law enforcement, and including the FBI, believe that and consider this one to be a cipher that will never be broken because it does not follow the standard cipher protocol of all the other ones. It adds new characters, so in that one, and it changes what the characters meant in the other ones that they have been able to break. Because once they broke the first one, that led to steps to break the second one and to the third one, which again was broken in 2020. There is one cipher. It's called the Z13 cipher that is yet to be broken. The Z13. All right, question number 9. How many of the official ciphers from the Zodiac Killer are still unsolved as of 2025? If you've been listening, I gave you the answer. Is it A, 1, B, 0, all solved? C, 9, or D, 2? How many of the official ciphers from the Zodiac Killer are still unsolved as of 2025? Kitty Coo, Bonnie, and Sal. Good evening, Sal. Welcome to tonight's trivia, Sal. Lita and Rihanna are all going with A, and Ivory Lady. Good evening, Ivory Lady. And Ivory Lady is going with A as well. Question number 9 of 20. How many official ciphers from the Zodiac Killer are still unsolved as of 2025? I'm going to go, guys. This migraine is kicking my butt. Have a great weekend. Everyone take care of yourself. Sprinkle Donut, you as well. You have a great week ahead. And thank you for stopping in tonight. Take care of yourself. Your health is more important than anything else. Question number 9. The correct answer is A as in apple. 1. The Z13 cipher is the only one unsolved, and the FBI believes it to be unsolvable. Question number 10 is now on your screen. What chilling message did the last official cipher reveal, not that they've broken, about the Zodiac Killer and their motives? Again, this is not counting the one that's not broken. The last one that they broke. Was it A, that he was connected to the police? B, he wasn't afraid of death? C, death sent him to paradise sooner? Or D, he was watching and listening to police? Question number 10 of 20. What chilling message did the last official cipher reveal about the Zodiac Killer and their motives? It's all right being late, Sal. You're on time more than the people who are not here. Always look at it that way. You're more on time than those who are not here. That he was a Jersey Shore fan. 1969 was the mom. The mom was alive by 1969, right? I don't even know how old the oldest Kardashian is. I mean, how old's the oldest member of the Jersey Shore? The oldest cast member? That's a good question. I mean, you can make a whole trivia question, about that. Purple and Ivory Lady are both going with D. Question number 10 of 20. If you answered either B or C, you are correct. If you answered either B or C, wasn't afraid of death, and death would only send him to paradise sooner, is what they learned in the last cipher that was solved. Again, there's still one cipher that has never been solved. Did you know the FBI looked into over 600 different killers who may have been in the San Francisco area and had been the Zodiac Killer? All were eventually killed. The FBI, once they took over, investigated and looked into 600 different killers to see if they fit the profile of the Zodiac Killer. All were eventually cleared. The FBI files, a collection of noteworthy details and insights drawn from the FBI case files on serial killers and spree killers. Whenever possible, I will post musings about tonight's subject matter. Otherwise, these are just general musings. Enjoy. With that in mind, as of 2025, the Zodiac files are still sealed and they will not release any information under the Freedom of Information Act or a FOIA request. The FBI has over 30 gigs of information within it, but it only accessible to FBI agents who have been assigned to the case. If you're an FBI agent, you can't enter the actual file itself. Only those who are assigned to the Zodiac case can access that 30 gigs of actual information on the Zodiac. The last one, the FBI made its last formal public release to the media about the Zodiac Killer on April 10th of 2020. That was when the last cipher was broken. Again, there is still one cipher, the Z13 cipher, that has not been solved. With that said, now it is time for me to cover cases of people who are missing and endangered. I am working with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, the Charlie Project, the FBI, NamUs, along with state and local law enforcement agencies, to shine a spotlight on these cases of people who are missing and endangered. It does not mean, even if the case is old, that they are missing or dead. Again, these are open, cold cases of people who are missing. In the United States, approximately 600,000 people are reported missing each and every year. The vast majority of these individuals are found with a large portion being located shortly after being reported missing within 90 days of report. Do not give up hope. JC Dugard was missing for 18 years before she was eventually found alive and well. Hope is alive and well. Do not give up hope. That leaves 29% of those people who are reported missing are those who fall into the endangered and missing. We do not know the circumstances behind what happened to them, and we need information. These families need information. As in case point, April Dawn Andrews, the missing poster you see on your screen there. That is the real number. If you know where April Dawn Andrews is, you can call 479-451-8220. That is an age-progressed photo of what she might look like today. She could have different colored hair. She might be wearing glasses. Where should you be on the lookout for April Dawn Andrews? April Dawn Andrews is believed to be alive and living in and around the Arkansas and Oklahoma area. There are tips also that she may have been in or living in the state of Nebraska. April Dawn Andrews left home on her own accord because she believed that she was a burden to her family. And she walked away from them all and has not contacted them ever since. Again, these families need contact. They need closure. So if you know anything about either one of the two cases I'm going to present, please reach out to the tip line or links that I have with each case. You are now eligible to take a 7-minute break. 7 minutes from now, we will be back. Do whatever you want to do. Shotgun a beer. Smoke a massive bowl of hash. I don't care. You do what you do for the next 7 minutes. Our first case tonight is Ace Jonathan Hudson. He was 36 years of age when he vanished. He is a Caucasian male. He was last seen officially on 1/12 of 2021 in Lexington, Kentucky. He is 5'7", 155 to 165 pounds, blue eyes, brown hair, no known tattoos or scars, and no medical conditions that would make him vanish. Like maybe he was out hiking, and he had epilepsy and he fell down a gorge, or he's diabetic and he had a diabetic, seizure, and that is laying in underbrush someplace. That's what the medical conditions mean. There's no medical conditions that would cause them to disappear. With that in mind, Ace Jonathan Hudson was last seen in Lexington, Kentucky on January 12th of 2021. He frequented the Cardinal Valley Park area at the time of the disappearance. Tips that have come in since he vanished point to he may have been seen getting into a darker red Honda or a Toyota hatchback with the 2 doors and a trunk. This tip is not confirmed. He has never been heard from again, and foul play is believed to be involved by his friends and family. They believe that foul play is what is keeping Ace Jonathan Hudson from contacting the authorities or his family or friends. If you know anything about where Ace Jonathan Hudson is today, you can reach out to 859-258-3600. That is the Lexington, Kentucky Sheriff's Department. You can remain anonymous by leaving a tip at that number if you know anything about what happened to Ace Jonathan Hudson. Our next case is Sean Luke Antill, not Ant Hill, Antill. He was 24 years of age when he vanished. He is a Caucasian male. He was last seen 12/23 of 2017. He vanished from Kadzid, Ohio. He is 5'3", 115 to 130 pounds. Again, he also has blue eyes and brown hair. He has several tattoos all over his back and arms. Unfortunately, there are very few photos that are clear to show the detail of the tattoos, so they are not included in this description. And his medical condition is, yes, Sean Luke Antill was a drug addict at the time of his disappearance. Even though he was addicted to drugs at the time, it doesn't mean he deserves what may have happened to him. It also doesn't mean he wasn't loved by his family and friends. You can leave additional tips at the Times Reader online, along with NamUs and the Ohio Attorney General's office online. This gets a little bit more bizarre, ladies and gentlemen. Antill was last seen December 23rd, 2017. He was riding in his car with 2 friends and one of their children, traveling from Orangeville, Ohio to Kadzid, Ohio, according to his companions. Antill was possibly under the influence of drugs, and his behavior changed during the ride. He had believed the police were after them and asked to be let out of the car. It gets crazier. I have to read the rest of this because you're not going to believe this. All right. It goes on. After Antill's friends pulled over and let him out of the vehicle, on US 250 near Harrison County. One of his friends got out with him to try to calm him down, but Antil only became more paranoid and ran away from his friend towards the city limits of Kadzid. His friend drove back to their home where he had picked him up at, and he never showed back up at the home. He left Antil's car there at the home and has never been heard from again. And here is just how bizarre this story gets and how it got on this show tonight. In March of 2025, a man by the name of Joseph Pyle Jr. went live on YouTube on a live stream and said that he killed Antil, then later recanted his statement when the police showed up at his door. He said he had never met Antil and just picked his name at random off of a list. But in his actual live stream, Joseph Pyle Jr. disclosed multiple things that only someone associated with the case or knew who Antil was would know. Again, Joseph Pyle Jr. went on a live stream on YouTube and said, "I killed that man," and knew details about the victim that only someone who was either in the car that day or someone who was associated with Antil would know. Law enforcement said, yeah, there's a chance he may have gotten that information from, other sources. And they said, we're just going to leave the case open and consider him a suspect. But they let him go. But at that time, they let him go. But they later charged him with a crime in the actual live stream that he did. He was charged with a gross misdemeanor for what he had said and causing what's called a false alarm. The charge with causing a false alarm. What did Joseph Pyle Jr. get as a punishment for going on a live stream on YouTube and saying that he murdered this man? And his family was notified about it right away because people reached out like, "Oh my God, there's a guy on YouTube who just said he killed, our friend, your son." He got 15 days of community service, a $1,000 fine, and a $275 court cost for the attorneys who had to appear, because he had a court-appointed attorney plus the prosecutor. So for less than $1,300, $1,275 and 15 days of community service. It gets even worse. If he keeps his nose clean for 2 years, the criminal record gets expunged from his record. So Joseph Pyle Jr. will have a clean record in 2 years if he has no further interactions with law enforcement. Yeah. Selfless, promotion, fan merch. It's the link to it. PayPal and for the investigator fund. If anybody wants to donate to it, you don't have to. But I put it out there because some people want to. Additionally, there's channel membership. Break time is not over with yet because I extended it by the time that I actually was talking to you and reading the rest of what happened to this man and his friends and his family from this idiot going on YouTube and live streaming that he actually killed this man. Sounds a little sus. Yeah, it definitely does. Get a Q. But according to law enforcement, even to the examiner, they said he knew details about the case and the disappearance of Ace that only somebody who was there that day or knew until would know. And Kitaku, thank you very much for being a channel member for 15 months. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. You have 30 seconds left of your break. 30 seconds of your break left. Well, not anymore. Now you have 22 seconds left. And with that, we're back. Question number 11 is now on your screen. What did the Zodiac Killer send in the mail to the San Francisco Chronicle? Was it A, a bag of poo, B, a $1 US dollar and a letter, C, a cipher and Paul Stein's ID, or D, a piece of Paul Stein's shirt? Question number 11 of 20. What did the Zodiac Killer send in the mail to the San Francisco Chronicle? Question number 11. 11. The correct answer to question number 11 is D, as in dog. And now it is time for another video.
We have no known motive at this time. However, we're not overruling any possibility.
How about leads?
We have several leads that we're working on, and some of them have been expired. We have ruled them out.
Have you been able to determine whether or not there was one or more assailants?
We felt up until this time there's possibly one, but we recovered a different caliber shell hole in the vehicle that wasn't there before.
What kind of youngsters were these?
The boy was an Eagle Scout. The girl was on her first date, and there's no record of any misbehavior on either one of them.
Why did this happen?
It was a senseless murder, I believe.
And now on to question 12. What was very unusual about the Paul Stein murder that the Zodiac wanted police to understand? Was it A, he could kill anyone, anywhere? B, he could kill even in urban areas? Or C, no one was safe? Or D, he would never be caught? Question number 12 of 20. What was very unusual about the Paul Stein murder that the Zodiac wanted police to understand? Well, good. I'm glad you like the videos. Still working on trying to place them where the Zodiac picture is here. That's where I want the videos to be, so they're not in a different screen. But The 60s and 70s were a nice time. Will, you didn't give an answer to question number 11. Question number 11. The correct answer to question number 11 is D as in dog, Paul Stein's shirt. Paul Stein's shirt. A piece of Paul Stein's shirt. Question number 12 of 20. What was very unusual about the Paul Stein murder that the Zodiac wanted police to understand? Question number 12. If you answered A, B, C, or D, you are correct. If you answered anything at all on this one, you are correct. This is what the Zodiac wanted the police to understand. All of the other murders took place in urban area, outside of the city area, in a forested area, a park area, an unincorporated area, or an incorporated area where lovers went to hang out, have picnics, and just spend time together. Paul Stein's murder, he was a cab driver. He was shot and killed in his car in the middle of the city itself. So the Zodiac wanted everyone, and the law enforcement in particular, to know that no one was safe, that he could kill anywhere, he could kill any place, and that he could not be caught. Later on, he sent a letter to the San Francisco Chronicle along with the police department, 2 separate letters that confirmed this actual idea that he was able to kill and do anything he wanted whenever he wanted, and they would never catch him. Question number 13. What common phrase did the Zodiac Killer use when boasting about his crimes? Was it A, you can't catch me, coppers? B, you're all stupid, I'm right here? C, this is the Zodiac speaking? Or D, I'm more powerful than you? Question number 13 of 20. What common phrase did the Zodiac Killer use when boasting about his crime? Question number 13 of 20. What common phrase did the Zodiac Killer use when boasting about his crimes? We have a C, 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 another C, another C, another C, and yet another C. The correct answer to question number 13 is C. C as in cat. Question number 14. What unusual threat did the Zodiac make involving school buses? Was it A, he could pick off kiddies? B, he could blow up a busload? C, not even children will survive? Or D, the wheels on the bus go round and round? Question number 14. What unusual threat did the Zodiac make involving school buses? Question number 14 of 20. This is one true crime case your dad never talked about, Joe Tall Chief says. It's been on a lot of people's minds since 1968, 1969. A lot of people. Question number 14, though. If you answered A, you are correct. If you answered B, you are correct. A or B is the correct answer for question number 14. The two things that he said about the school buses, this is an exact full quote, is he said, I could pick off the kiddos as they come bouncing out of the school bus, end quote. And additionally, he said, I could plant a bomb on a school bus and blow it to smithereens. Those two things are things that he said about school buses. So again, if you answered either A or B for question number 14, you are correct. Question number 15. What piece of evidence did writer Robert Graysmith discover the police had overlooked? Was it A, a witness seen a Corvair nearby? B, a witness seen the killer at a gas station? B, witnesses seen the shooting? D, witnesses identified Pauly Shore or Paul Shore, who was very innocent about incest, about Manson and the Tate murder. I get my love of true crime from your dad. I don't know if there's any one particular person that influenced me more than anybody else about true crime. I just always been interested in the psychology behind, as far as I can remember. I always wanted to, understand what makes people tick, what makes them do the things that they do. Even as a little kid, I always wondered why some kids were mean and, and spirited and bullies, while others were happy, and go-lucky and trusting. I always just sat back and just wondered about that. That's kind of weird as a kid to do that. I know, but hey, that's me. Question number 15. What piece of evidence did writer Robert Graysmith discover the police had overlooked? The correct answer is A as in apple. Witnesses had seen a Corvair, that's a Chevrolet Corvair, coming or leaving the area where the murders had taken place. There's a little bit more to that. It may have been a Corvair or an Impala. Now, in case you don't know what a Chevrolet Corvair is, a car that the Chevy made in the 60s that was air cooled and had a rear engine, and the gas tank was in the front, and it was considered to be unsafe at any speed. But I've owned one, and I never died in the damn thing. But anywho, where in the world did I get my obsession with true crime? Neither parent and my brother was born yet. I did that as a kid too, says Bonnie. Wonder why people do the things that they do? Did you know Since the Zodiac killings, there have been 23 copycat killers who have written ciphers in letters to the media. This included ciphers written from prison from none other than David Berkowitz. David Berkowitz sent letters to the media with a cipher in them. 23 different copycats in that aspect, not in the how the MO of hunting down couples on Lover's Lane and killing them, but and the aspects of either hiding themselves or writing ciphers, a hood or something along that lines. 23 different copycats according to the FBI. Question number 16. Before the Zodiac Killer told reporters he wanted to be known as the Zodiac, what did they call him? Was it A, Man in Black, B, the Hooded Killer, C, the Cipher Killer, or D, the Devil in Black? I like, Callie Lisa says, I like learning the process of how crimes are solved. That's why I like watching trials. I get that. I get that a lot. I love watching court TV, and law and crime. And then your shows like, Law and Order, SVU. Question number 16. Before the Zodiac Killer told reporters he wanted to be known as a Zodiac, what did they call him? I'm now on to Powerade. Question number 16. We got B question mark from Kitty Coo. I don't know, it could be B. Sal B, Joe Chalty, C, Purple B. Right now, Ed Wallace tells us how things are done at crime scenes. Ed Wallace over on my friend Duty Ron's channel. I love watching Duty Ron. If you're not subscribed or know about Duty Ron, please go check out Duty Ron. Type in Duty Ron, DUTYRON, all one word, into the YouTube search box at the top of the screen, and you will find Duty Ron's YouTube channel. Oh, if anybody that's a moderator wants to drop a link in the comment section to Duty Ron's channel, go ahead. I wish I would have had it available right now, but I would have to open up a whole nother screen. But the answer to question number 16 is C, as in cat. They called him the Cipher Killer. The Cipher Killer is what he was known as before he started writing and told the reporters and law enforcement that he wanted to be known as the Zodiac. So do I. Ronald Licardo, sorry. Question number 17. When was the last official letter cipher received from the Zodiac Killer? Was it March of 1980? B, January of 1974? C, December of 1970? Or D, October of 1990? Kitty Q, this is why I didn't comment on what you had posted before. If I would have, it would have gave away this one. Thank you, Inner Peace. I appreciate it immensely. Thank you very much. When was the last letter cipher received from the Zodiac Killer? Question number 17 of 20. Purple's going with B, D. Sal, I think the Zodiac is dead. Very good likelihood of that, Sal. Very good likelihood of that. Question number 17. The correct answer is B as in boy. The last letter and cipher was received in January of 1974. In the letter, he said to the reporter that he had been killing all along and that he was fed up with them not giving him credit for what he had done. They thought the murders were only in 1968, 1969, but here in 1974, 5 years later, after they knew the last letter had come in, they got a real letter from the Zodiac along with the Z13 cipher, the only cipher that has not been broken. They are still working on amateurs and actual detectives, in cryptography at the FBI are looking into the Z13 and trying to break it, hoping that the last cipher will tell them who the Zodiac is, or they'll have some clue as to who the Zodiac Killer is. But January of 1974. Question number 18. How many confirmed killings are there associated with the Zodiac Killer? Is it A, 19, B, 4, C, 23, or D, 5? And yes, that should be plural, killings, not killing. How many confirmed killings are there associated with the Zodiac Killer? Will, why is the last cipher so hard? Pippadot, he added new characters to the last cipher, and not all, but a vast majority of the ciphers that they had broken before then, 3 of them, he had changed up what the actual letters and characters meant in the last cipher, using a completely different method for what the actual code was. So it took a long time, amateurs and professionals working through, what does this symbol represent? What letter of the alphabet? So once they got the first one, they were able to break it. That helped lead them to break the second one, and the second one led to help breaking the third one. But the fourth letter in 1974, he changed the entire thing in that letter. So letters don't mean the same things, and sometimes letters mean numbers, or numbers mean letters. Family thinks their dad might have been the Zodiac Killer. I read that interpiece. There have been some really good possibilities of individuals over the years, but nothing confirmed by the FBI at this point. Question number 18. The correct answer is D as in dog. 5 murders are associated with the Zodiac Killer. Question number 19. Which federal law enforcement took over the investigation in the Zodiac killings because it was too complex? Was it A, the U.S. Parks Department, B, Homeland Security, C, the FBI, or D, Space Force? Because it's real.